Yo, this is Boy in Space, and I'm about to walk you through my first EP, Front Yard. Here we go! So, we start off the EP with the first single that I released from the EP, which is Dance Alone. For me, it has like a very nostalgic pop rock feel to it. And yeah, I noticed that straight away when we started writing the song, like that's the vibe we're going for. The lyrics, just very hard-hitting, emotional, and I had some help from a great friend of mine, Hazlitt, who writes amazing lyrics, so that was just a pleasure. He kind of went to grab some coffee, and when he came back, he had like piles of lyrics, which is quite nice sometimes, because sometimes you just get stuck with the lyrics, but it's like kind of rare that someone just walks away and comes back with so many great lyrics. That kind of also fitted into my life really well, which was great. It's also a huge plus when you're writing with other people that the lyrics kind of fit for you, because you're the artist and you wanted to like feel as much as yourself as possible. And we wrote the song in LA a while ago, so it's been with me for a little while. But yeah, love the track. Dance Alone, emotionally hard-hitting. It's like a big song. It has that like huge sound to it, which I love. And of course, I had amazing Freddie HenkeGuztav on the production, which just lifted the song so much more. And yeah, it was a pleasure to write, pleasure to release, and yeah, hope you love the song. Second song of the EP is Picking Flowers, and I actually wrote that with Shy Martin and Freddie HenkeGuztav as well. Yeah, it was a really good session. We came up with the guitar part quite fast. I think we just played around with that for a little bit, and then everything else just kind of fell in place. And at that time, I feel like I spent a lot of time away from my, do you say fiance, or what do you say? I think it's fiance. Yeah, I was kind of missing her and our little pug Nala. So I just wanted to write a song about that, being kind of like homesick. And that's where the lyrics came from and the true or emotions came from. It's a hard-hitting song, but yeah, love that song. It was a pleasure working with Sarah on that track. She's just so easy to work with, and yeah, it was a blast. Third song, Sucker Punch. This song actually came about like quite recently, and it was like one of those songs when we wrote it, we were like, okay, this needs to be on the EP. It had like that instant fall in love moment that I love in a song. It's just like the guitar, like the simplicity of everything just speaks to me so much, and it kind of reminds me of where pop used to be in the 2005 era. Like it's just simple, easy, like repetitive melodies, and just the way I like it. I wrote Sucker Punch with Dream Denver. We wrote a lot of stuff together. Yeah, that was a really, really good session. It's also one of those sessions where we kind of just play the guitar. It was like super simple to come up with the ideas, and it started out as like a ballad vibe to it, and then we were like, okay, this would sound so good if we had like a beat to it and had like that rhythm to it. So we did that, we put the production together, and yeah, now it's Sucker Punch with a lot of punch. Song number 4 is Rosis, and I wrote that song with the incredible Lute, the band Lute, and that was such a great experience to work with Emma and Jackson in LA. I remember going there, like you're always nervous before going into a session, but I feel like immediately when we met, we kind of understood each other. It felt like that anyways. Yeah, it was just a good connection, a lot of jokes, a lot of like good vibes from the get-go. So when we started writing, it was just quite simple. I feel like we understood each other so well because it's so pop driven, and I think they're so pop driven as well. So we kind of like, it was like giving each other like shoulder rubs the whole night. That's great. I love that lyric. I love that melody. Thank you. So we started writing the song, and Jackson played the piano part. That melody just came up in my head. All of us around the city still without a luck. From there, we just kind of built a epic. I don't know. The chorus. That's what I love about the song. Like the verse and the pre is so like emotionally chill, and then in the chorus it just like slaps you right in the face. I think we really made something special and unique in that song. Song number 5, Remember Me, and I think I can say comfortably like that's probably my favorite song on the EP, because like ever since we wrote it in Palma, it was me, Dream Denver, and Freddie HenkeGuztav. We just wrote that song, and it was one of those moments where I just felt so inspired because of the guitar. It like spoke to me because it gave me nostalgia back to when my dad used to play a lot of like rock music in the car, like a lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah, it was just one of those moments where I was like, I got that like energy boost and everything just flowed so easily. And when we came up with that chorus, it was like, I felt like it was game changing. And I remember going back to Sweden, I listened to that song, to the demo on repeat, like the whole flight. So that's when I knew we like had something really special with that song. And even though it's like 2 years old now, like I still don't get enough of it. I can still listen to it and like really enjoy it, which is quite not uncommon, but it's like when you have songs for that long, you kind of get tired of them after a while. So yeah, love Remember Me. Big kind of like desert feel to it, and like hard hitting lyrics, and like it just sounds huge. Like everything sounds big. Like yeah, it just has like a lot of grand gestures in it, like from the lyrics to the melodies to everything. Sounds so dramatic in everything. Like I wish I left you in the dust to spend your time, like stuck in my head, like melodies can get you out, no remedy. Wish I could wipe my memory. Like with that big melody as well, it just becomes so, it's almost like a symphony to me, which is also in the lyrics. So song number 6 is Save Me, which me, Dream Denver, and Unheard wrote in New York. And yeah, I think it came about, Dream Denver was playing that like guitar part with like the flanger on it, and it just sounded so country-ish, but it sounded like a smashy, like it sounded like Smash just from the guitar, and like I guess we just picked it up from there. And I also wanted to bring some like skate punk rock vibes into it, and I took a little bit of inspiration from the song Gives You Hell by All American Rejects. It just became like so, like almost like an obvious pop smash, but in like a really cool old school way. It's also quite funny because the song sounds so positive and happy, but like the whole lyrical message is like, yeah, I just feel dead, and everything's gray, and I don't like anything at the moment. Please save me, basically. Yeah, fun fact. Yeah, Unheard and Dream Denver did a really good job, I think, with the production. It's like simple, cool, in your face. And yeah, for those who don't know, Unheard is featured on Cold. So we're like the two best buddies from that old goodie song. So the last song of the EP, song number 7, is Dead End. And we actually wrote that on the same trip that we wrote Save Me. And that song is such a vibe. I feel like it has like that typical Void Space moment where it kind of goes into like the falsetto parts. It's just so like beautiful and kind of like atmospheric, and then when it kind of goes into the chorus, it has like a really, I don't know, like this rhythmic I don't know what to call it, but it's like rhythmic, upbeat, cool part, and like that's the type of combinations I really love. So Dead End, I think it's an amazing song. There was like one of those songs that also stuck with me, because I remember when we were in New York, we just drove around after the sessions. We drove around with Unheard in his car, and we kind of like listened to all the tracks and listened to the songs that we wrote, and like, oh, this is song of the day. Yeah, that song was just so nice to hear, like just driving around at night around the neighborhood to buy like Shake Shack or something. Yeah, it was a really great song, great moment. Dead End, I think, is a perfect like ending to the whole EP, obviously because of the end part of the title. It just fits really well. It has this like great outro that just leaves you hanging a little bit, and you kind of get swooped into space, which is a great little tie to the end of the EP. Yeah, I think overall the EP is very driven by a lot of nostalgia for me, and kind of bringing it back to my childhood. A lot of pop rock, punk influences, I feel like, in a lot of songs. That's just what I wanted to do, and for me it's like a perfect combination of songs as well. You have the slower emotional songs. Every song is emotional, but it's like when we made the order of the songs, it just sounded really collective. When we played it, it sounded like it was like it was an EP and it sounded great. And yeah, it's like pretty weird releasing my first EP, but it's also really exciting. So yeah, let me know what you think of the EP. I hope you enjoy it a lot, and I hope it explained a little bit more about the songs. Maybe it didn't, maybe it did. If not, I'll guess you can just like hit me up with some questions in the DMs or like in the comments. I'll try to answer more questions, maybe in the comment section here on YouTube or wherever you're seeing this, and I'll try to get back to them as quickly as possible. And that's it. Peace.